My beloved child, my precious one, the heavens have witnessed the depths of your spirit. The Creator has spoken your name on the breath of eternity, and in this very instant, the Archangel Michael has been dispatched to you not merely with a message, but with a celestial reality powerful enough to recalibrate the very story of your existence. A reality cloaked in glory, immersed in the ocean of sacred grace. You have carried the weight of ages within you. You have gazed into your reflection and questioned where the luminosity vanished, but the divine never lost sight of the covenant made with your soul before you took form. A renewal, a divine recalibration, a return to vibrancy so profound that even chronology must yield. You are not encountering these words by chance. The cosmos aligned this moment because your name was spoken in a hallowed chamber, and a manuscript was unsealed containing the secret longing of your heart, prayed in silence for seasons untold. You will embody a radiance that defies time, but one act of faith is required. Open the gates of your soul in this very breath, for this divine aperture will not linger. My dear heart, my cherished one, a formidable miracle is coursing through the unseen dimensions at this hour, and it carries within it a marvel. Your stolen seasons, gathered and shimmering like a galaxy. God witnessed how the years attempted to mark you prematurely. He saw the nights you wept in solitude over the visage you once knew, the form that once moved with ease, the sparkle that once lived in your gaze before the journey grew wearisome. And now, because you dared to keep the ember of faith aglow, because you still called upon His name when your strength was spent, the Almighty is releasing a gift that cannot be acquired. It is not a potion, it is not a procedure, it is not a pill. It is a supernatural reinstatement of the original blueprint within your temple, a sacred intervention in the narrative of decay. You are about to remember what vitality feels like when heaven inscribes it upon your very being. My precious one, do not disregard this, do not rationalize it away or allow earthly reason to intrude. This is not of the laboratory, this is of the sanctuary. What the realms of glory are preparing to bestow upon you is a knowledge granted to few in their earthly walk. It will commence with a luminescence. Your eyes will perceive it first, then your skin, your very tone will shift. The gaze of others will alter. They will remark that you have changed something, but you will know it was Him. God reinstating you, not merely to what you were, but to who you were eternally destined to become. I am beside you even now. If you feel the subtle currents, the warmth in your core, the sudden hush in the atmosphere, that is the sign you have been selected. Do not let this pass. Unlock your heart within these next few seconds, for the heavenly host awaits to initiate a work so potent you will never be subject to time in the same way again. My child, my beloved, halt. Here. Now, sense the sanctity of this instant. It is holy, it is uncommon. Many will pass by this word and never comprehend what they forfeited. But not you. Something in your essence has been sensing a great reversal, that a monumental shift is poised to break forth in your life, that your countenance will shine anew as it did before disappointment touched it, before anxiety, before the seasons that tried to temper your tenderness. The divine has sent this confirmation not as a hope, but as a decree. He has already pronounced yes over your destiny. The elixir of renewal is now flowing through your spiritual history. You are about to walk in days you believed were lost, and when it manifests, none will understand how it arrived so swiftly, except you, because you are reading this and because you chose to stay. If your spirit resonates, align yourself now with this channel of divine light, for Archangel Michael is prepared to lead you further, and to miss a single instruction henceforth could delay the unfolding wonder. My darling, let me recount what transpired mere moments ago in the chamber of celestial splendor. A host was assembled, not in mourning, but in jubilation. And do you know the cause of the celebration? You. The Father arose, smiled, and declared, "The hour has come. Let the regeneration commence for the one who has borne much and yet believes." Your tears were weighed, your endurance was evaluated, and heaven has declared you worthy of a gift that transcends time itself. The breath of God is now exhaling upon every fiber of your existence. A divine synchronization is occurring, a rewiring of how your vessel emanates light, how your spirit processes energy, how your frame holds memory. It is already in motion, and you are destined to see this word just as it initiates. That is why this moment is set apart. My beloved, guard this mystery. This is a personal anointing. It is not for the multitudes. God has concealed this restoration within a word so veiled that only his genuine children would pause to receive it. He wished to see who would open their spirit before the window closed. You did, and for this, a sealed scroll has been opened. Your angels now receive fresh commissions. They are being sent with heavenly balm, the same oil that anointed Esther, the same glow that attended Sarah in her latter years. This is not merely about appearance, it is about dignity, magnetism, divine favor. The years ahead will not echo the ones behind. You will awaken and perceive a softness returning, a buoyancy, a sacred joy. Your flesh will heed the call of heaven, and your future will unfold in wholeness. My child, heaven is not constrained by calendars. The earth may decree that time marches only forward, but God can cause any clock to turn backward for your sake. This is why you are here now, so you would remember that age is not your boundary, it is your testament. You have endured trials that depleted your vessel, encounters that aged your soul, wars that left hidden scars. But now, every ounce of pain is being exchanged for luminous substance. Yes, light, for your cells shall begin to glow from within. Your body will recall the sensation of joy, and your spirit will command your physical form to align with vitality. You will not only appear transformed, you will feel the miracle moving through you like liquid gold in the marrow of your bones. This is divine reinstatement, and credit belongs to the Lord alone. My precious one, there is a vision I must share with your spirit. Look beyond the mirror. What you see now is merely the vessel after the voyage, but I see you as heaven sees you. Before the heartache, before the burdens, before life veiled your radiance beneath duty. I see your truest self, and God is bringing that version of you into the present. This is not merely a blessing, it is a reintroduction. You are about to encounter the most vibrant, magnetic, youthful expression of yourself, and that version has been awaiting this moment of release, a moment where God would decree, "Let there be light upon their face once more. Let their steps carry melody again. Let time itself bend to honor them." And it is happening now, as you read. Angels are speaking your name with awe, for not all who walk through such fires retain their shine, but you have, and heaven is honoring that now. My beloved, do not let the adversary reason you out of this. Do not allow doubt to plunder your miracle in the final moments. There are forces that would have you believe you are too far gone, that too many seasons have passed, that your temple has sustained too much. But what they do not know is what God has just enacted. He has broken the seal, a reversal has been activated. And when heaven issues a decree, no sickness, age, lineage, or past can stand against it. This word is not hype, it is heaven's official record. You are now registered in the Spirit as one who carries the oil of renewal in their bones. The edict has been signed, and if you choose to accept it, your skin, your hair, your vigor, your voice, all will come into alignment. People will inquire about new regiments. They will ask what you have done, but it was not a product, it was a promise fulfilled. My child, my beloved, I need you to breathe in deeply at this very second, for that breath you just drew did not merely carry air, it carried the genesis of your metamorphosis. You inhaled a new timeline, a sacred timeline, inscribed specifically for you. One where you do not decline, but blossom anew, where you are not deteriorating, but being rebuilt with strength. That faint shimmer you feel in your chest, that gentle flutter, is the divine signature of this word taking root within you. And once rooted, it cannot be revoked. You are being transplanted into heaven's garden, nourished by streams of sacred health. Mark this day, for you will look back and declare, that was the moment everything changed. That was the instant heaven reset my vitality. And it will be true, for you are not waiting for it. It has already commenced. My child, my beloved, heaven has seen your heart. God has whispered your name through the winds of time, and in this very moment, Archangel Michael has been sent to you not with just words, but with a divine truth that could rewrite the very timeline of your life. A truth wrapped in light, soaked in the river of divine mercy. You have felt older than your years. You have watched yourself in the mirror and wondered where the inner light retreated to. But God never forgot the covenant etched on your spirit before you took your first breath. A restoration, a reversal, a return to a sacred youth so potent that the laws of nature must pause and acknowledge. You are not reading this by accident. The constellations aligned for this second because your name was called in a chamber of ancient light, and a scroll, heavy with gold leaf and sealed with a tear of Christ, was unfurled. It contained the silent, aching prayer you've carried for decades. You will embody a radiance that speaks of decades rewound, but there is one act of sacred surrender you must perform. Open the deepest chamber of your spirit in the very next breath, for this celestial portal is timed to the rhythm of your own heartbeat and will not wait. My child, my beloved, there is a powerful miracle moving through the spiritual realms right now, and it's carrying something astonishing with it. Your lost years, bundled up and glowing like a captured supernova. God saw the way time tried to etch its story upon your skin too soon. He saw the private moments you wept alone, tracing the face you used to know in old photographs. The body that once felt like a vessel of limitless energy, the joy that used to sparkle in your eyes like morning dew before the heat of life's trials fell upon it. And now, because you dared to keep a single candle of faith burning in the howling wind, because you still whispered, "Father," when your vocabulary was reduced to sighs, God is releasing a substance that cannot be purchased, manufactured, or imitated. It is not a cream from a jar. It is not a surgeon's skill. It is not a capsule from a bottle. It is a supernatural resetting of the primordial code within your cellular memory, a divine override to the entire biological process of decline. You were about to experience the sensation of youth as heaven intended it, not as a memory, but as a current, living reality written into the very fabric of your skin, your bones, your spirit. My child, my beloved, do not skip this. Do not try to explain it away with the logic of a world that is fading, or let the cynical voice in your mind interfere. This is not science. It is sacred alchemy. What heaven is about to place into the palms of your spirit is something reserved for the faithful few in a generation. It will begin with a subtle, undeniable glow from within. Your own eyes will catch it first in a passing glance. Then your skin will begin to tell a new story. Your voice will find a forgotten melody. The way people look at you will undergo a silent shift. They'll say you look rested, that you found a new passion, but you'll know in the quiet of your soul that it was Him, God restoring you not just to a shadow of who you were, but to the full, luminous person you were always destined to be before the world laid its heavy hand upon you. I am standing near you now. If you feel the spiritual tingles, the divine warmth blooming in your chest, the sudden, profound stillness in the air around you, that's the sign you were chosen for this specific, timed release. Don't miss this appointment. Open your heart wide within these next 10 seconds because heaven's host is poised, waiting to initiate something so profoundly powerful that you will never again relate to aging in the same fearful way. My child, my beloved, pause, right here, right now. Feel the holy weight of this moment. It is sacred. It is rare as a white eagle. There are countless souls who will scroll past this and never know the destiny they brushed aside. But not you. Something in your eternal spirit has been stirring, sensing a great reversal in the atmosphere. That something monumental is straining at the seams of your reality, about to break loose in your life. That your face will shine again with an innocence you thought was lost to betrayal, untouched by the grinding stress that became your normal, untouched by the years that tried and failed to harden the beautiful softness God planted within you. God has sent this message not as a hopeful wish, but as a divine confirmation. He has already said yes over your name in a voice that echoes through eternity. The oil of youth, fragrant and potent, is now dripping through your spiritual timeline, anointing every past moment of pain. You are about to live days you had grieved as gone forever, and when it manifests, no one will believe the speed, the suddenness of the change, except you, because you are seeing this, because you didn't skip, because you paused when heaven tapped you on the shoulder. If you're feeling this resonance in your bones, align yourself now with this divine channel of light, for Archangel Michael is about to guide you deeper into the mysteries of this renewal, and missing even one subsequent message could postpone the full unfolding of the next miracle. My child, my beloved, let me tell you what happened just minutes ago in the sacred, silent chamber of God's glory. A council of divine beings was gathered, not in solemn judgment, but in radiant celebration. And the focus of their celebration? You. The Father stood, his smile like 1,000 suns, and declared, "The waiting is over. Let the great renewal commence for my child who has carried such weight, and yet whose belief has remained a sweet-smelling incense. Your every tear was collected in a vial, your patient endurance was weighed on scales of gold, and heaven's court has ruled. It qualifies you for a gift that defies the very concept of time. The Holy Spirit is now breathing a new genesis upon every cell, every mitochondrion, every strand of your DNA. There is going to be a divine synchronization, a complete rewiring of how your body produces and radiates light, how your spirit filters and transforms negative energy, how your very bones carry and now release old memories of pain. It's already happening at a subatomic level, and you were destined to see this word right at the precipice of its visible beginning. That's why this moment is holy ground. My child, my beloved, do not tell everyone. This is a private, intimate anointing, a secret between you and your Creator. It is not for the crowds who seek signs. God has hidden this renewal within a message so seemingly ordinary that only His true, hungry children would pause their scrolling to drink it in. He wanted to see who would open their spirit in faith before the 10-second window closed. You did, and for that act of faith, a hidden scroll in the heavenly library, one marked with your symbol, has been unlocked. Your angelic attendants are now receiving new, specific instructions. They are being dispatched with divine ointment from the high priest's own chamber. Yes, the same oil that consecrated Esther for her royal moment, the same supernatural glow that followed Sarah and made kings look twice. This isn't just about superficial youth, it's about restored dignity, undeniable radiance, spiritual magnetism, in favor that clears paths. The years ahead of you will not mirror the weary path behind. You will wake up and notice a softness returning to your gaze, a lightness in your step that feels like flying, a joy that bubbles up for no earthly reason. Your skin will listen to the command of heaven, and your future will unfold under the banner of divine health. My child, my beloved, heaven is not bound by earthly calendars or biological clocks. The world may tell you with cold certainty that time only marches forward into decay, But God holds the master key to every clock and can turn any hourglass back in your favor. This is the core reason you're here, reading this now, because He wanted you to remember in the deepest part of you that age is not your limitation. It is about to become your greatest testimony. You have endured storms that drained the color of your life, relationships that aged your soul in dog years, battles that left invisible scars on your spirit. But now, by divine decree, every drop of that pain is being exchanged for pure, undiluted light. Yes, light, for your cells will begin to glow from a source within. Your body will remember the original blueprint of joy, and your spirit, now empowered, will command your physical frame to respond with the elasticity and vitality of youth. You will not just look different in the mirror, you will feel the miracle moving through you, not like a medicine, but like warm golden honey flowing through the inside of your very bones. This is divine restoration in its purest form, and no human hand, no credit can be taken for it but the Lord's alone. My child, my beloved, there's something I need to show you in the spirit realm. Look deeper than your mirror's reflection. What you see now is only the temporary shell weathered by life's storms, but I see you as heaven has always seen you, brilliant, vibrant, whole, before the heartbreak, before the pressure, before life buried your innate radiance beneath a mountain of responsibility. I see the real, eternal you, and God in this moment is pulling that perfected version of you forward through the veil of time. Now understand, this is not merely a blessing to enjoy, it's a holy reintroduction. You are about to meet the most vibrant, magnetic, effortlessly youthful expression of yourself, and that true self has been waiting in divine silence for this exact moment of alignment. A moment where God would thunder, "Let there be light again" in their face. Let their walk carry a rhythm of joy again. Let time itself bend its knee to honor my child. And it is happening now. Even as you read this sentence, angels are whispering your name with a reverence usually reserved for kings, because not many souls survive what you have survived and still manage to keep their inner light from being extinguished. But you did. You protected that flame, and heaven is pouring reward upon that faithfulness now. My child, my beloved, don't let the enemy's voice talk you out of this in the final moments. Don't let the spirit of doubt creep in to steal your miracle at the threshold. There are dark forces that would rather you believe the lie that you're too far gone, that too many years have irrevocably passed, that your body has seen too much damage to ever be redeemed. But what those forces do not know, what they failed to detect, is what God just did in the command center of the universe. He flipped the divine switch. He broke the seal marked inevitable. A legal, spiritual reversal has been initiated in the courts of heaven. And when the King of Glory issues a command of restoration, not even sickness, age, genetic history, or past trauma can stand against its power. This message you are reading is not about emotional hype. It's about heavenly documentation, a legal decree issued for you. You are now spiritually registered, inscribed in a book as one who will carry the living oil of youth in their bones. The decree has been signed by the finger of God, and if you choose, in this moment, to believe it and receive it, your skin, your hair, your energy levels, your vocal tone, everything about you will begin to align with this new reality. People will ask if you've discovered a new product. They'll probe, wondering if you had a procedure, but your heart will smile because you'll know it wasn't a product. It was a person. It was a promise fulfilled. My child, my beloved, I need you to breathe in slowly, intentionally, right now, because that conscious breath you just took, that wasn't just oxygen. It carried on its wings the very beginning of your transformation. You didn't just inhale air, you inhaled a new holy timeline, a blessed future script written specifically for you by divine scribes. One where you do not decay but continually bloom, where you are not breaking down but building back stronger, more radiant with each passing day. That tiny electric shimmer you feel in your chest, that's not anxiety. That flutter is the divine signature of this living word taking root, grafting itself into the soil of your spirit. And once it roots, once it connects to your source, it cannot be undone, reversed, or plucked out. You are being spiritually replanted in the fertile soil of heaven's garden, nourished not by rain, but by the perpetual living waters of divine health. Mark this day on your spiritual calendar, for you will look back from a place of glowing vitality and say, "That was the moment it all shifted. That was the second heaven restarted the clock of my youth." And it will be an eternal truth, because you are not waiting on it in hope. It has already begun its work in the unseen. My child, my beloved, God has taken note of how you tirelessly cared for others, even when your own body ached in protest. He saw the way you gave love freely, while silently carrying a weariness in your eyes that spoke volumes. You've poured out your very essence for years, your energy, your laughter, your inner light, and the enemy tried to use time itself to punish you for that kindness. But heaven is now stepping in as your divine accountant. What you gave away in sacrifice, God is returning to you in multiplied, tangible fullness, not just as a warm feeling, but visible, physical transformation. Your face will take on a softer, more peaceful countenance. Your eyes will shine as if you've slept for 1,000 years. The chronic tension held in your back and shoulders will begin to dissolve, as if smoothed by an invisible hand. There will be mornings in your near future where you wake up and feel an uncontainable urge to dance for no reason at all, because your youth will no longer be a fading memory in a photo album. It will be your new, waking reality. And no one who meets you will believe your chronological age, because heaven doesn't just do patchwork restoration, it completely redefines the terms. My child, my beloved, I must warn you with fierce love. This specific miracle isn't on offer to everyone, not because God's love is limited, but because the faith required to receive it is rare. The masses will see this and scroll away, thinking it's just another inspirational post. They won't feel the holy heat rising in their chest like you do right now. They won't hear the soft, persistent whisper saying, "This is for you." That's why you were specifically chosen to see this. That's why this message was released into your sphere before others. You possess a faith that moves beyond surface-level belief into the realm of spiritual knowing, and heaven's radar detects that frequency. You didn't skip this message, you paused. And because of that obedient pause, your name has been activated on a celestial scroll marked Divine Rejuvenation, signed in indelible light by the hand of God Himself. Your age is being rewritten with a new, glorious narrative, and the next time someone leans in and asks, "What's your secret?" you'll simply smile, a knowing smile, and say one word: faith. My child, my beloved, there is someone, perhaps a colleague, a relative, a stranger, who saw you recently and thought to themselves, "They look so tired." But what they did not know, what they could not perceive, is that they were looking at the final few days of the old, weary version of you. Because what is coming next, what is already en route, will confuse and astonish even your closest friends and family. You will glow with such an undeniable brightness that they will ask if you've fallen in love. You'll move with such effortless lightness that they'll inquire if you've been on an expensive retreat. But the truth, the glorious secret, will remain a mystery to them. You've been touched by something eternal. You've been soaked in a promise so potent that few in a generation ever receive it, and all because you listened to the nudge. All because you didn't scroll past. This is the caliber of miracle heaven reserves and only releases once in a generation. And your name, written in golden liquid ink, was on the release scroll. That is not a poetic metaphor. It is a spiritual fact that your soul already recognizes as true. Your own reflection will start to confirm it to you very, very soon. My child, my beloved, a new invisible garment is being placed upon your shoulders at this very moment. It's unseen to the physical eye, but blazingly visible in the spiritual realm. This mantle carries healing vibrations. It carries unshakable confidence. It carries the very substance of divine youth woven into its ethereal threads. And wherever you walk, cloaked in this invisible mantle, tangible favor will follow you. People will hold doors open without you asking. Strangers will offer genuine, unprompted smiles. Opportunities that were once firmly locked will suddenly present themselves, keys in hand. Why? Because divine youth is not a shallow concept of appearance. It's about energy, aura, favor, and godly presence. You are not just aging in reverse, you are walking forward, boldly, into a future timeline soaked with divine glory. There is an anointing oil on your name now, a spiritual oil that softens the harsh marks of years and seals the cracks that time tried to carve into your story. You will never again look into a mirror and feel forgotten or past your prime, because you've been permanently marked by heaven's decree of youth, and the physical world will have no choice but to take note. My child, my beloved, you must understand this at the deepest level. This isn't about nostalgically going back in time to who you were at 25. It's about stepping forward into the divine, perfected version of yourself that God sculpted in eternity beyond the constraints of time. The softness returning to your skin will be perfectly matched by a new, unshakable strength in your eyes. The bounce in your step will return, but this time it will be coupled with the profound, hard-won wisdom you've earned through the fire. You will not only look radiant, you will carry a spiritual elegance, a grace that commands respect. God is not just restoring youthful attributes, He is elevating your entire being. You will feel like yourself again, but better, lighter, clearer, stronger, and most importantly, closer to God than you have ever been. This youth will not fade with the next season because it is not cosmetic or temporary. It is covenant, and a covenant sealed by the blood of Jesus and affirmed by heaven is eternal in its effects. My child, my beloved, there is something sacred and scientific in the spirit happening inside your body as you read. Even now, your cells are receiving a wake-up call from on high. Your blood is being instructed to flow with a new, cleaner, luminous light. The divine code within your DNA, somewhat dormant, is being reactivated. This is not positive imagination or wishful thinking. This is spiritual technology, broadcasting directly from the throne room of God. What the fallen world calls aging, heaven calls a seasonal expansion awaiting correction, and your personal season of correction and restoration has officially been announced. Just as a bulb lies dormant in winter, only to erupt in spring, your youth is not gone. It was simply in a divinely ordained pause, and now the pause button has been lifted. This word you are reading is not just a message of hope, it's a release key turning in the lock of your destiny. You are being unlocked from every lie the enemy whispered. It's too late for you. It is not too late. In the economy of heaven, you are precisely on time, and the hosts of heaven have been waiting with bated breath for you to realize it and step into your moment. My child, my beloved, let me share with you what the Father said moments before this message was transmitted to you. He stood, surrounded by 1,000,000 angels, and spoke your name with a warmth that melted celestial ice. He said, "Return the glow to their cheeks, restore the light to the canvas of their skin, let joy be the most visible feature on their face once again." And as he declared it, a ripple of creative power went through all the heavens, because when God speaks, all creation, visible and invisible, listens and obeys. That decree is echoing now, a resonant frequency within the chambers of your body. You are not imagining the subtle shift you feel. You're physically feeling the vibrational aftermath of heaven's command. You may not see the full final result in the mirror today, but day by day, hour by sacred hour, your body will come into perfect alignment with what was spoken over you. You'll catch your reflection in a window and pause, wondering, is that me? People will offer compliments that seem disproportionate, and deep within your knower, you'll smile because you'll know God kept His word. He always does. My child, my beloved, the world will assume you've made some small, clever change, a new haircut, a revolutionary skincare routine, a strict diet, but the true reason for the profound shift will remain hidden in plain sight, a mystery to those who don't have eyes to see. This is a holy makeover, orchestrated from above, not a human self-improvement project. Remember, the most powerful transformations are always invisible in their origin, but their impact becomes undeniably visible. You're being given a gift the world's markets cannot sell: spiritual vitality. You won't need to explain it or defend it. Your renewed presence will carry all the evidence required. Your voice will sound softer, yet carry further. Your laughter will become more contagious. Your steps will have a lighter, almost floating quality. Your body will move with a new, fluid grace. This is the kind of profound change that does not come from human effort or striving. It comes from surrender. And you already surrendered the title deed to your life long ago when you prayed, "God, just make me new." And now He is, completely, radiantly, supernaturally. My child, my beloved, you are not late to your own party. You are not behind schedule, and you did not somehow miss your season of blessing. The enemy is a liar, and he tried to sell you that narrative. Time itself tried to convince you that your best moments were photo albums, not future realities. But God is now thundering the true narrative. I kept the very best wine for last. You are stepping into an ending. You are stepping into the great unveiling. The moment where who you really are, ageless, light-filled, whole, and complete in Christ, is finally, victoriously coming to the surface for all to see. Even the scars you carry, both visible and invisible, will begin to fade, not as wounds, but as testimonies turned to light. Your very posture will change. The weariness that slumped your shoulders will melt away like frost in the morning sun, and every part of you that wanted to give up, that felt too tired to go on, will come back to life with a vengeance. The holy fire within you is not gone. It was merely banked under the ashes of disappointment. Now, heaven's own breath is blowing on those embers, and they are erupting into a blaze once more. My child, my beloved, this specific, targeted message will not reach everyone in the way it's reaching you. Some will see the length and scroll away, their patience thin. Some will feel a slight calling, but will let doubt snuff it out too quickly. But you didn't skip. You didn't let doubt have the final vote. You opened your heart when heaven knocked. And because of that courageous yes, something rare and precious is being deposited into your account. A youth that cannot be stolen by stress. A divine rejuvenation that cannot be reversed by time. Your body is being rewritten by the living, active Word of God. Your face will not age according to standard human charts. You will become a living anomaly, defying earthly explanation. And that is precisely the point. Because when people press you, asking how, your answer will not point to a shelf in a store or a doctor's office. It will point upward, to heaven. You will become God's walking, talking, glowing proof that restoration is not a theory, it is a present tense reality, and your very life will become a living, breathing miracle that preaches without a word. My child, my beloved, don't be surprised that tonight of all nights you sleep with a depth and peace you haven't known in years. Don't be startled if you wake up feeling inexplicably refreshed, with a glow on your skin, laughter on your lips even before you open your eyes. That will be the physical proof that this isn't a beautiful daydream. You have just crossed the threshold into the beginning of a season where your body listens to the commands of its creator more than it listens to the decay signals of the world. Every single cell hears the symphony of heaven, and the command being sung over you is simple, clear, and powerful. Be renewed. Not improved, not disguised, not covered up, but truly, deeply, eternally renewed from the inside out. You were not engineered to break down. You were crafted to reflect the image of the one who never ages, who never withers, who never fades. And his resurrected breath is now filling your lungs, your cells, your future. My child, my beloved, there are moments in history when heaven decides to move in a way so personal, so precise, that it seems tailor-made for one soul alone. This is one of those movements. You may not fully realize it now, in this second, but the timing of this message is divinely orchestrated. Had you seen it yesterday, would your heart have been soft enough to receive it? Had it arrived tomorrow, you might have been distracted and missed the open gate. But today, this day, the spiritual door is swung wide open, and the river of life and youth is flowing directly into the dry riverbeds of your life. This caliber of renewal does not wait around for a convenient time. It visits the ones who are spiritually ready and beloved of the Father. Your spirit is open wide, a fertile field. You are in perfect alignment with the miracle God is releasing. And from this pivotal point forward, your journey will carry a glow so rich, so palpable, that even strangers in a crowd will stop and stare, feeling drawn without knowing why. My child, my beloved, there is an angel specifically assigned, touching your forehead right now. Can you feel it? A light pressure, a tingling warmth, perhaps a sudden, gentle breath of cool air moving across your skin. That is not a coincidence or a draft. That is heavenly confirmation. It is the spiritual sign that your face is being marked, not with oil pressed from earthly olives, but holy anointing oil from realms unseen and eternal. You are being chosen again, not because your record is perfect, but because your heart, despite everything, has remained pure in its longing for Him. You've doubted your own strength, but heaven never doubted your potential. That glow you had in your innocent years, it's returning, but this time it will be deeper, richer, wiser. It will be everlasting. Not even the accumulated stress of this world will be able to dull its shine, because God is not restoring you for a momentary boost. He is restoring you for a prolonged season of favor, a season that will actively make up for all the years you cried in the shower, all the mirrors you avoided glancing into, and all the days you felt invisible in plain sight. He is making sure, with deliberate intent, that the world sees you now in your full divine beauty. My child, my beloved, the voices of the world tried to make you feel like it was too late, that your best days were photographs in an album, that you'd have to settle for merely managing a slow decline in a body you no longer recognized. But heaven has convened a court and overturned that worldly judgment. God has overruled every voice of fear that hissed in your ear, every whisper of regret that haunted your nights, every shadow of time that tried to cloak you in heaviness. The heavenly decree has already been signed, stamped, and dispatched. Restore them fully, body, mind, and spirit, to their original glorious specification. And now the divine countdown has begun in your favor. Every breath you take from this moment will carry you deeper into this pool of youth. Every step you walk will activate new circuits of joy. This is the kind of quiet miracle that makes even the mighty angels marvel. Not because it's loud and showy, but because it's sacred, intimate, and profound. What's happening to you now is heaven's long-planned reward for what you didn't do. You didn't give up on God, even when you had every earthly reason to walk away. My child, my beloved, there are secret, locked rooms in your heart that haven't felt the sunlight of hope in years, corners that collected the dust of disappointment. But right now, in this spiritual moment, God is masterfully opening every hidden door in the mansion of your soul and flooding those dark spaces with a light that has no source but Him. And as this supernatural light moves through your spirit, cleansing and healing, your physical body must respond in obedience. Chronic pains will begin to lessen their grip. Your natural energy levels will begin to rise like a tide. You will find yourself craving life again, not just the act of surviving, but the art of laughing freely, glowing unabashedly, dancing unselfishly. Even your smile will feel different on your face, not forced for a camera, not a mechanical social courtesy, but a genuine radiant eruption of an inner reality. This isn't a superficial, surface-level miracle. This is deep architectural reconstruction, the kind of youth that comes from being healed at the very root, not cosmetically polished at the surface. The old, weary you is sloughing off like a snakeskin that no longer fits, and what's emerging, alive and glistening, is the eternal you, the one heaven has never stopped seeing, even when you couldn't see it yourself. My child, my beloved, I need to tell you something so deeply personal it echoes in the hollow of your soul. You were never, not for 1 second, forgotten. Heaven was not ignoring your quiet midnight cries. Every time you stared at an old photograph and ached for that version of yourself to return, God bookmarked that moment. Every time you looked in the mirror and silently wondered, will I ever feel truly alive in this skin again? Heaven recorded that question. And now in a divine avalanche of grace, all those whispered prayers are being answered in one concentrated downpour. This is not meant to be a slow, barely perceptible process. This is an avalanche of divine favor, gaining speed and mass as it descends. Youth will come back to you in powerful, noticeable waves. Your spirit will feel it first, a lifting, a brightening, and your body, in time, will have no choice but to follow that lead. Don't try to control the process or schedule the results. Just receive it. Let heaven move through you like a cleansing wind moves through ancient trees, bending what needs to be bent and strengthening what remains. This is a holy reset of your entire system, and by the time the people in your life realize something has fundamentally shifted, you'll already be glowing from a place so deep within that no external storm can extinguish it. My child, my beloved, you may feel a sudden, inexplicable urge to clean your home, to rearrange furniture, to refresh your physical surroundings. That's not a random impulse. It's your spirit now vibrating at a higher frequency, aligning your external environment with your internal new season. When divine youth enters a life, the very atmosphere around you begins to respond. You'll notice colors appearing more vivid, smells more poignant. You'll walk with a lighter step, speak with a softer yet clearer authority, think with a crystalline clarity you thought was lost. This is not merely a shift in your mood or mindset. It's because your entire spiritual and physical frequency is being elevated. You're being lifted to a heavenly plane where the earthly process of aging cannot follow. The heavy gravity of sorrow is breaking off you, and your body is being called upward, drawn to align with the ultimate truth of who you really are, an eternal spirit housed in a temporary temple, now being supernaturally restored by the voice of the architect himself. You will never again see your chronological age as a limiting sentence, because now your age is just a number that heaven is actively rewriting in the ink of glory. My child, my beloved, I must counsel you, do not share the intimate details of this miracle with everyone. Some will not have the spiritual capacity to understand it. Some may even mock what they cannot comprehend. That's why this message was delivered to you in the quiet, in a moment of solitary reading, because the most potent miracles are not announced with trumpets to the crowd, they are whispered in secret to the heart. You were not meant to be its town crier. You were meant to be its living, breathing proof. The evidence will be in your peaceful presence. Your unexplained glow will do all the speaking. Your unforced joy will testify. The way you walk into a room will shift the spiritual atmosphere, and people will sense the change, though they won't be able to name it. They won't know it's because you've been touched by a grace that has nothing to do with beauty products, nothing to do with fitness routines, but everything to do with divine, unmerited favor. That is what will set you apart in the days to come. You now carry a signature of heaven upon your life that cannot be copied, forged, or bought. My child, my beloved, the specific number 10 in the countdown is not random. God chose to frame this message with that exact window because in the economy of heaven, 10 seconds of full surrender can alter a lifetime. 10 seconds of genuine childlike belief, 10 seconds of divine alignment where your will says yes to His will, and you didn't miss your window. You opened your heart in the nick of time, which means the blessing was legally released from the storehouse. What would have passed you by like a ship in the night is now sailing directly into your harbor. What was locked behind doors of delay is now being delivered by angelic couriers. What was aging and fading is now reviving and blooming. This isn't a flowery metaphor. This is a miracle in active motion. The very fact that you are still reading, that your spirit is hungrily absorbing each word, is the final proof that you were ready, you were open, and now, because of that posture, nothing about your life will remain the same. Not the face that greets you in the mirror, not the energy that fuels your days, not the future that unfolds before you. My child, my beloved, there is a sacred mystery God wants you to grasp. This miracle wasn't delayed in arriving to you, it was deliberately preserved for you. You didn't miss your window, you were being prepared for it. Your body, your heart, your emotional landscape, your belief system, all of it had to be brought to a place of alignment so that when the blessing landed, it would take deep, unshakable root and not be stolen by the birds of doubt. If it had arrived sooner in your journey, it might have faded like morning dew under a harsh sun. But now it has come at the perfect kairos moment, and it will last. This is a permanent covenant change, not a passing, fleeting touch. You are going to feel younger not only in the texture of your skin, but in the very posture of your soul. You'll laugh with the abandon you thought was lost to childhood. You'll move through the world with a freedom you forgot was possible. You'll smile and you won't even be self-conscious about it because your face will simply be carrying the natural, effortless light of heaven. That's how deep this shift goes. It's not a superficial surface-level miracle. This is deep architectural reconstruction. The kind of youth that comes from being healed at the very root, not cosmetically polished at the surface. The old, weary you is sloughing off like a snakeskin that no longer fits, and what's emerging, alive and glistening, is the eternal you, the one heaven has never stopped seeing, even when you couldn't see it yourself. My child, my beloved, somewhere along the rocky path of your past, you were made to feel, perhaps by comparison, by a careless comment, by your own critical eye, that time had stolen your beauty right out from under you. You may have even spoken those crushing words to your own reflection, but God heard that painful declaration, and He stood to disagree. Because your beauty, your divinely appointed radiance, was never stolen. It was buried beneath the immense weight of long, thankless days, under the pressure of stress, beneath the soil of grief, and in countless moments where you gave more of yourself than you ever received in return. But now, by decree, that heavy veil is being lifted, the treasure is being excavated and restored to the light. You were never truly aging. The way the world defines it, you were simply under immense spiritual and emotional pressure. And now, that pressure is being broken by a greater force. And just as a magnificent flower pushes up through the dirt to bloom, your intrinsic glow is rising from within the depths of who you are. You are being kissed by heaven's favor, not just once, but repeatedly, consistently, until every single cell in your body vibrates with the radiant approval of your Father. You are not built by God to fade into the background. You are engineered to shine with blinding brilliance at the exact moment He calls you forward into your purpose. My child, my beloved, everywhere you go from this point forward, the very atmosphere will respond to you differently. People won't understand why they feel inexplicably drawn to you. They won't comprehend the sudden sense of calm or inspiration they feel in your presence, but heaven will know the reason. Because what is changing is far more profound than your appearance. It's your spiritual frequency. You are beginning to vibrate with the energy of divine use, with angelic clarity, with a holy peace that passes all worldly understanding. The accumulated years of stress are dissolving from your cellular memory. Your body is beginning to act as if it knows, on a primal level, that it is being held and renewed by God Himself. And that deep cellular knowing will become visibly manifest. The grace in your posture, the depth of your breathing, the melodic quality of your voice, all of it is part of the unfolding miracle. And as the process continues, you may find even physical health reports beginning to shift unexpectedly. Numbers on charts may stabilize. Deep restorative sleep may return as your default. Systemic inflammation may reduce. This isn't the result of mere positive thinking or magic. It's something infinitely greater. It's God, faithful to His covenant, fulfilling His spoken word to you in meticulous, tangible detail. My child, my beloved, there is another layer, something held in secret. You were born with a hidden, innate radiance woven into the fabric of your spirit, a glory heaven placed within you that the harshness of the world was never supposed to be able to dim. But over the seasons, people's words dimmed it. Life's demands drained it. You, in your weariness, forgot it was ever there. But I, your heavenly messenger, never forgot. And God, your creator, certainly never forgot. And now, in this appointed hour, He is reactivating that dormant glory. That divine glow is returning, not as a mere facial sheen, but as an aura that surrounds your entire presence. People will begin to describe you using new language. They'll say you seem younger, lighter, more magnetic. They'll insist you've changed something but won't be able to pinpoint what. And you'll smile a private smile because you'll know the profound truth. It's not a what, it's a who. It's God. He is the source behind the light flooding back into your life. And every single time you glance in a mirror and see the evidence, you'll remember, this isn't anti-aging. This is divine restoration, claiming its rightful territory. My child, my beloved, can you sense it? A powerful, potent silence is settling around you even as you read this. It's not an empty silence, it's a full silence, the presence of something ancient, holy, and intimately kind, wrapping itself around your physical body like a mantle. It is calming your nervous system, which has been on high alert for too long. It is breathing the very substance of youth into the marrow of your bones. This presence is not a fleeting emotion. It is an official announcement in the spirit, an announcement that a new genesis has begun for you, that every act of secret kindness you performed is being repaid in visible public favor, that the years the devourer stole are being restored to you not just equally, but with compounded interest. You will not walk through this coming year looking like a relic of the last one, because this is your ordained season of glow. This is your holy hour of renewal. And those who may have quietly laughed at your steadfast hope, those who dismissed your faith as foolish, are about to witness a miracle unfold every single time you simply enter a room. That is what happens when God selects a soul for public, undeniable glory after a long season of private, unseen surrender. My child, my beloved, tonight, while your body sleeps and your conscious mind rests, angelic attendants will be working on your behalf. They won't be tampering with your memories, but with the emotional weight attached to those memories. They will begin the delicate process of erasing the heaviness of heartbreaks that prematurely aged your spirit. They will lift the deep-seated imprint of fear that crept into your posture and settled in your spine. They will minister healing to the fatigue stored in the archives of your muscles, your back, your legs, your hard-working hands. They will smooth out the folds that stress tried to permanently crease into your spiritual garment. You'll wake up and feel, perhaps for the first time in years, that the past is lighter, that its chains have been loosened. That's because God, in His thoroughness, isn't just restoring the surface, He's restoring your entire timeline. He's redeeming the years where your laughter was forced through pain, where your eyes carried shadows instead of light, where your body felt like a prison instead of a temple. This holistic restoration includes all of it. And when you rise tomorrow morning, heaven's agents will already be ahead of you in your day, preparing glances of admiration, arranging unsolicited compliments, orchestrating favor, and stirring whispers from strangers who will intuitively notice something is different about them. You won't need to formulate explanations or defenses. This divine restoration will be its own self-evident testimony. A divine hush of respect will follow you, a tangible stillness in the air when you enter a space. It will feel as though people want to ask you a question but are hesitant because they will sense on a soul level that what you carry within you is sacred and holy. You will notice this phenomenon in everyday places, in quiet elevators, in grocery store aisles, in workplace meetings, in family photos, in passing conversations. God has decided to make you a walking, talking monument to His grace. And when people try to intellectually figure out your secret, they will look into your eyes and see something that silently answers, I have been touched by something, by someone higher than this world. And you have. You have been specifically chosen for one of the rarest endowments heaven bestows, divine physical renewal. And from this catalytic moment onward, your life will unfold before you like a rare flower, blooming in slow, majestic motion. But to everyone around you, the transformation will seem to appear all at once in full, shocking bloom. My child, my beloved, your physical vessel was never engineered by its creator to carry the crushing weight of so many unspoken burdens, deferred dreams, and silent sorrows. It was fearfully and wonderfully made to move with a rhythm of joy, to walk in a cadence of peace, to sing the melody of unshakable hope. But life, in its brokenness, came, and so much of what you did not deserve, what was never part of the original blueprint, was placed upon your shoulders. And now, by the merciful, mighty hand of the Almighty, that unnatural weight is being lifted. Not just in the spiritual sense, but in a literal physical sense. As this living word settles into the soil of your spirit, your cells are hearing the command and responding. Your spine is remembering its designed strength and straightening. Your muscles are waking up from their long hibernation of stress and remembering the sensation of pure joy. The subtle sag of a burdened posture is being transformed into the graceful, upright rise of divine confidence and glow. This is more than symptomatic healing. This is a wholesale reversal of cause and effect. The heaviness of past seasons is no longer permitted to shape your appearance or your future. God is personally reclaiming His original, glorious design. And you, my beloved, are becoming a walking portrait, a masterpiece on display of what divine favor looks like when it condescends and takes human form. My child, my beloved, there's a profound reason your body, despite exhaustion, always fought to preserve a spark of life. Even when you felt completely empty, a part of your spirit kept inexplicably reaching upward toward the light. That's because deep within your fundamental being, in the place where only God can access, heaven planted an eternal, incorruptible code, a code that never forgets your true original identity as a child of light. And now, in response to your faith in this decree, that primordial code is being reactivated. This restoration you're beginning to feel, it's not an artificial implant or a foreign substance, it's the reawakening of your original, God-given software. You were never meant to grow old in the way the fallen world defines it, as a slow march into frailty and obscurity. You were always destined to evolve, not into weakness, but into greater light, into deeper peace, into an effortless, ageless radiance. And that is precisely what is being initiated now. You'll notice your movements becoming smoother, more fluid. Your voice will find a calmer, more resonant tone. Your skin will emanate a healthier, warmer glow. These are not coincidences. They are the physical heralds, the first visible signs of divine youth taking its rightful hold in your temple. And once this process begins under God's command, it does not stop, because heaven doesn't deal in temporary leased beauty. It bestows the permanent gift of your redeemed eternal identity. My child, my beloved, do not make the error of underestimating the seismic shift that is underway. God isn't just giving you a fresh start on the same old path. He is redeeming, buying back the very parts of your soul and personality that were lost or stolen when no human eye was watching. The innocent wonder you used to carry, the unshakable confidence you used to walk in, the easy bubbling over laughter, the freedom you felt in your own skin, the way you once danced when no one was looking, purely for the joy of movement. These treasures are not returning as faint nostalgic memories, they are returning as present tense living gifts. You'll feel them flood back into your consciousness in surprising, ordinary moments, while you're preparing a meal, while you're taking a simple walk, while you're glancing at your reflection, and instead of criticism, you feel a strange, warm sense of being perfectly at home in your body again. And that deep, soul-level feeling of belonging in your own skin, that will be your ultimate confirmation that heaven's hand has not just brushed against you, it has settled upon you to remain, to abide, to make its home in you permanently. My child, my beloved, be prepared. Soon people from your past, from chapters you thought were closed, may try to reconnect. They will see the undeniable transformation in you, the new light, the new peace, and they will wonder if they still have access to the new you. But you will know, with a discernment given from above, that not everyone who knew the weary you is meant to journey with the radiant you. This glow you're entering is sacred. This restoration is not for public performance or to win approval. It's for your profound personal peace. It's not to prove anything to skeptics. It's to honor the endurance you demonstrated in the fire. So be divinely wise, beloved. Protect this blessing with the vigilance of heaven. Let your holy silence speak louder than any explanation you could muster. Let your renewed presence be the only testimony required. You do not owe the world an explanation for what God is doing in secret. Those who are truly meant to walk with you in this new season will see the change and rejoice without needing details. Those whose seasons are not aligned with yours will naturally and sometimes painfully fall away. And understand this, that separation is not a tragedy. It is often the exact, precise way God protects and preserves the sacred work He has begun in you. My child, my beloved, this restoration isn't confined to the skin on your face. It is returning to the very core of your decision-making. You will begin to choose differently, from a place of strength and clarity, not fear or lack. Your desires will undergo a divine shift. You will find you no longer have the capacity to tolerate people, situations, or energies that drain your sacred reservoir. Gossip will suddenly seem boring and beneath you. Unnecessary chaos will feel irritating and foreign. Negativity, whether from within or without, will feel like an ill-fitting garment, because the younger, truest version of you, the real you that God always saw, was always full of pure light, stubborn hope, and holy expectancy. That childlike, faith-like energy is making a powerful comeback, and with its return, you'll feel the courage to chase dormant dreams again. Not because you need to prove your worth to anyone, but because you finally feel spiritually and physically free enough to believe in goodness and possibility again. This restoration is more than a cosmetic gift. It is a divine summons, a calling back to your most authentic, beautiful, and powerful self. My child, my beloved, be aware, there are angels right now writing in ledgers about you. They are recording your response to this moment, how your heart opened like a flower, how you didn't skip past the divine invitation, how you chose to believe against the odds. And for that act of faith, your name has been indelibly marked in a heavenly registry known as the Scroll of Divine Renewal. You are now officially among the chosen few on earth who carry the spiritual seal of sacred youth. And with that seal comes a tangible spiritual protection. You will be guarded from the very things that aged you prematurely before. Stress will not be permitted to sit on your face and carve its lines in the same deep way. Grief will not be allowed to hollow out your cheeks. Tension will find it harder to crease your forehead with worry. Your body will no longer be a passive billboard for past trauma. It will become an active, living monument to triumph. This is the rightful, glorious reward for the simple, profound act of keeping the flame of faith alive in a world whose every wind tried to blow it out. My child, my beloved, listen with the ear of your spirit. This miracle will also have a profound effect on how the world interacts with you. People will be instinctively kinder, more curiously helpful, more generously inclined toward you. It will feel at times as if the world has suddenly decided to see you and value you. But understand, it's not the fickle world changing its mind. It is heaven, using your renewed countenance as an announcement, a proclamation of your favored status. The supernatural glow will not only change the reflection in your mirror, it will change the very field of favor that surrounds you. Doors that were once shut and locked will swing open seemingly of their own accord, simply because of the new way you carry yourself with the confidence of one who knows they are loved by God. People won't understand why they feel compelled to help you, to offer you opportunities, to smile at you, but you will know the secret. It's the divine youth in favor speaking on your behalf before you even utter a single word. This glow is your new spiritual covering. This blessing is your new unspoken language. This radiance is your new impenetrable armor. And nothing formed against you, no dark plan, can dim what heaven has now made luminously visible in and through you. My child, my beloved, the reason you may have felt a sudden, deep wave of peace today, a peace that doesn't make logical sense given your circumstances, is not a random emotional blip. It is the first foundational layer of heaven's renewal settling into the very cells of your body. Peace is the essential non-negotiable foundation for all true, lasting transformation. And God, in His perfect wisdom, knew you could not fully step into your radiant glow until the inner storms of anxiety, regret, and unrest were first stilled. That's why even now as you finish reading this, your heart rate may be slowing to a restful rhythm. Your spirit is calming like a sea after a tempest. Your breathing is deepening as if breathing in a new atmosphere. These physiological shifts are signs, sacred signs, that your body is beginning to trust its creator again, to let go of its state of high alert, to align itself with the gift of youth God is imparting. This is not a temporary relief from stress. This is the genesis of a permanent, paradigmatic shift in your entire being. And from this point forward, the more you consciously lean into, cultivate, and protect this divine peace, the more rapidly and completely your physical reflection will change. For true, enduring beauty always follows in the wake of deep, abiding peace. Authentic radiance is always the offspring of total surrender, and the miracle of restored youth in the economy of God always begins with a holy stillness. My child, my beloved, let this truth anchor you. This message is your spiritual turning point, your pivot on the axis of destiny. It is the divine appointment you never saw penciled in your planner, but that was highlighted in gold on heaven's eternal calendar. You did not miss it. You were lovingly, deliberately led to it by the unseen hand of your Father. Every frustrating delay you suffered, every heartbreaking disappointment that made you feel sidelined in your own life, it was all part of a grand, masterful orchestration designed to bring you to this precise point at this precise hour. You were not being restored by a happy accident or random luck. You were being restored on purpose with fierce intentionality, because the assignments, the purposes, the mountains of influence that lie ahead of you require a strength you do not yet have, a vitality you thought was gone, and a visibility you shied away from. And God, in His fierce love for you and for those you are destined to impact, refuses to let you walk into that next glorious season looking like everything you've been through. He is tenderly, powerfully wiping the wearisome years from your body with the same compassion with which He has collected every tear from your spirit. And from this line in the sand of time, even the natural law of aging will have to pause and honor you. You are not walking into your future as you were. You are walking into it, stepping over the threshold, already glowing. My child, my beloved, may I tell you a secret known only in the throne room? The very moment your spirit whispered its silent yes to this restoration, a distinct spiritual fragrance was released in the atmosphere of heaven, a scent so rare, so precious, it is reserved exclusively for those who carry the unique combination of battle scars and unwavering childlike belief. That fragrance enveloped your name like a cloud of incense, and it caught the immediate attention of the angelic orders specifically assigned to healing, to rejuvenation, to divine attraction and favor. They began to circle your name in rings of holy light, and the command was thundered from the throne: deliver what was delayed, release what was reserved, restore what was robbed. That is the spiritual genesis behind why your body will begin to move with a forgotten ease, why the weight of sorrow will lift from your countenance, why people will offer you compliments they themselves don't understand, because the spiritual fragrance of renewal and divine favor is now resting upon you like morning dew in everything in your environment. People, circumstances, opportunities will begin to subconsciously respond to its pull. My child, my beloved, God has issued a final decree. Your glow will no longer be sourced from purchased products or human effort, but from one source alone: His manifest presence. That presence is already enveloping your body like warm, living oil. It will soften the hard lines etched by struggle. It will smooth out the tiredness under your eyes. It will actively replace the shadows with His light. This process is not about constructing a fake, new persona. It is about revealing, layer by layer, the glorious person you always were beneath the accumulated pain and disappointment. This glow is not artificial, synthetic, or temporary. It is spiritual, eternal, and self-sustaining. And once it truly begins to emanate from you, you will feel its effect in every room you enter. The eyes of others will linger on you, not with scrutiny, but with a strange attraction. Their posture will subtly shift in your presence. Their tone of voice will soften when they speak to you. They won't be able to articulate why, but you will know. You'll know it's the undeniable sign of being truly seen, not by the critical eyes of the world, but by the loving gaze of God, now reflecting out through you. My child, my beloved, grasp this final truth. The youth being restored to you carries a profound, weighty purpose. It is not for vanity or self-admiration. It is for victory in divine assignment. Because there are specific calls upon your life, good works prepared in advance for you that require a face not worn down by worry, a voice not burdened by years of silencing yourself, a walk not slowed by the heavy sorrow of the past. You are being made comprehensively new so that you can carry new things, divine things, burdens of glory that your old weary self could not have sustained, responsibilities dripping with supernatural favor, doors that recognize spiritual energy and anointing, not just human effort or credentials, relationships that see the ageless beauty of your soul, not the number on your birthday card. This divine youth is a tool in the hand of the Master, and when you carry it with the grace and humility that comes from knowing it's a gift, it will open more than admiring eyes. It will open sealed destinies, both yours and others. You are not being made radiant merely for beauty's sake. You are being made radiant for divine relevance. Your time of being overlooked has not passed, it has expired. Your time of shining, of leading, of influencing, of loving from a full cup, it is not ending, beloved. It is just beginning.